Hello everybody, and welcome back to another video. In today's video, we are going to be taking a look at every single car that was released in the 2017 Radiator Springs Classics line, aka the Cars 3 Radiator Springs Classics line, but for now we're going to call it 2017 since it was all in 2017. There was an actual Radiator Springs Classics line for the 2017 normal year, but unfortunately there was only a few cars that were actually released, and I don't believe that there was any new cars apart from Percy Handbrakes and Jonas Rivera in those 3-packs. Now this is, in my opinion, one of the best years for the Radiator Springs Classics line, because we only got one new character, we got one new deco, but we had so many fixed variants that just makes it so good. I prefer a fixed Miguel Camino. Of course, his spoiler is incorrect on every single one they've made so far. I prefer a corrected Miguel Camino over a new background character. I mean that could be debatable depending on the background character, but yeah, it's just really nice to get a corrected variants, and that is what they seemed to be doing with this line in 2017, because there's 1, 2 corrected variants, and every single car that was released in the Radiator Springs Classics line was new in some way apart from Red, who I'll not be showing today since he has been released several other times. However, none of the cars pictured here have been released since. So we're going to start it off with this tractor here. This tractor is, I believe, not the same as the one from the Cars 1 and all that. I actually don't have one of those to compare it to, but I'm 99% sure that it's somewhat different, but it's still very similar with that pinkish tan color along with the brown spots. Still looks very, very nice. And this Radiator Springs Classics line, they actually split it up. They had some cars from Cars 1 and some cars from Cars 2, and I'm pretty sure, no, not, they had Cars 1 cars and Cars 3 cars, my bad. And I'm pretty sure that this is a Cars 3 tractor, although correct me if I'm wrong. When they're running through them, Smokey, no, Smokey was there. It was Cruz and McQueen. So we got him out of the way. Now let's take a look at Flo. Now at first glance it looks like another average Flo with a slight expression change. However, this is actually a very, very, very nice version of Flo because it is corrected. You can see on this version of Flo with the what are they called? The waitress Flo. You can actually see that she is a lot wider, which is not as accurate, and you can even see on the Flows nowadays even still being made, even they have that wide body. So this was the only time that they ever released this corrected version of Flo with the body, and the expression is really similar to the ones that they have in the normal Flows, which is nice that we don't have two big major variants. Next up, we have another corrected variant, and that would be Sally with Tattoo. Now, Sally with Tattoo, the correct version, was actually released before the corrected normal Sally. This normal one came out a few months later, in one of the first cases of 2018. This one was mid-2017. So mid-2017, early 2018 for these two. And yeah, you can see that the original Sally was a really wide model, similar to Flo. I don't have one right now to show, but if you do have Sally and it's not one with it's not one of these two, then you'll be able to see that there's a major difference, and this one is in fact correct, which is why I keep these two instead of the other one. Unfortunately, Sally with Cone has not been re-released since then, so hopefully she does get a re-release and they use that corrected model. Next up we have another kind of corrected variant, although I'm not really sure what you would call it. This is Primer McQueen. Now, this was actually a re-release of him. He was first released in like a 10-pack or 11-pack. I believe that was a Toys R Us exclusive. That's the 11-pack one on the right. You can see that there is a major difference in expressions. And this one has like some matte paint, while this one is all shiny and smooth. The only plus about buying that pack, in my opinion, was that you get this little phone, which I keep next to this one. And I kind of keep this guy. I just throw him into the Thomasville cars. Maybe they're supposed to be like variants, but the expression is way more accurate considering McQueen wasn't exactly, you know, having like the best of times being stuck in a shed with a bunch of injuries and stuff. So we're just gonna go ahead and say that this one's a lot more accurate, which is why he's a worthwhile car to buy. And surprisingly, a lot of these were like super rare at first, but since then have become pretty uncommon. No, or common, rather. Here we have the most underrated car of that line. This is Fillmore, and he was just labeled as Fillmore. However, this is not your ordinary Fillmore. This is actually, I remember the scene before McQueen comes crashing into town. They're kind of looking up at the stoplight, and he just says, every third blink is slower. And I am 99.99% sure that this is supposed to be the Fillmore from that scene. He has such a different expression from the normal Fillmore that it's like not even funny. It's so obviously supposed to be the one from that scene. It even has the same exact mouth, same eyes, but it's just labeled as Fillmore. So I guess we'll have to call it like Stoplight Fillmore. Let's call it Stoplight Fillmore. That's his name now. Stoplight Fillmore. I like that. Sounds a lot better. Next up, we're getting into the really, really nice stuff. And wow, it just looks so good. This is Intro Ramone. Originally, a lot of these cars were actually only being found in like the UK. So I actually bought this guy for like $30, thinking that he was probably going to be exclusive to Europe, but luckily they did end up coming to the United States, which is where I got all the rest of the Radiator Springs Classics cars. He looks so good. The blue, this light blue, looks just amazing. Looks a hell of a lot better than the Ghostlight Ramone. Like the two-tone blue, like kind of like a sky blue with the dark blue to go along with it. It just looks incredibly good. Look at that. It's got so many stripes, it's like Edwin Cranks. Man, it just looks absolutely amazing. And if I had to bet, I'd say that this would probably be re-released at some point, but currently they don't have any plans as far as we know. And last, but definitely not least, I say that with 100% certainty because this guy, if he's not the #1 Radiator Springs Classic release of probably all time, then I don't know what you're thinking. This is Bork, aka Scott Tiller. For those who don't know, back when he was originally revealed, he was just simply known as Tiller, and everyone decided to call him Bork, kind of led by Disney Doc. Back in the day, he thought it would be funny, and everyone else kind of followed along, so we still call him Bork to this day, although we do know that his real name is Scott Tiller. So Scott here appeared during the road trip that Mac and McQueen were taking while they were on their way to the Rusty's Racing Center. You can see some Tillers kind of in the background. And I wonder if they can actually speak. Like, Frank can't speak, the tractors can't speak. I wonder if this guy could speak. You always have to wonder that. He is a very, very nice yellow color. And he has a bunch of, kind of brown stains and rust and all that. And I believe that they're actually, like, randomized. they're not like exact carbon copies. Like if you were to pick up 2 Scott Tillers, you could see that the paint, or the brown paint that's kind of scattered, is completely different on every single one. This looks so good with like this little design here. It looks very realistic, and of course he was a deluxe. He just looks amazing. I mean, this is by far the best Radiator Springs Classics car that we have gotten probably ever. I mean, there are some good ones back in the day, but believe me, this guy is easily the best. And he's still only worth about $20, so if you want to go and pick him up off eBay, I would definitely recommend it. He is amazing. Like, you have this thing in the back, and it even moves. You can see if you were to roll it, you can kind of see it move. Actually, no, it doesn't. Never mind. You can hear it like bumping on the ground. Just absolutely amazing. That's all I can say. This is a beautiful tiller right here, with like the covers and the back part. And it actually came similar to Bryan Park Motors. He actually came in 2. Well, not 2. He came like facing this way, and this back part was actually loose from it. It was similar to Stu Scottish, where the car was kind of like split into 2 different pieces, and then you attach it once you get them out of the package. Man, I don't know what else to say. It's just such a good-looking car. Alright, so that is pretty much it. Let me get these cars back in here. Put them back. Anyways, yeah, that's it. So, this was a fun video to make, revisiting all these old, or not old, but cool releases. Very, very awesome. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. So, that will pretty much be it. Once again, I hope you guys enjoyed the video, and I'll see you all on the next one. Goodbye.